On MSNBC's Morning Joe, host Joe Scarborough accidentally, or maybe not accidentally, let the cat out of the bag when it comes to the Republican Party.
The problem with the Republican Party over the past 30 years is they haven't, and I'll say we haven't, developed a message that appeals to the working class Americans economically in a way that how Donald Trump's does. I mean, you look at the fact we talk about cutting capital gains taxes. That 10,000 people that are in the crowd cheering for Donald Trump, they are never going to get a capital gains cut because it doesn't apply. We talk about getting rid of the death tax. The death tax is not going to impact the 10,000 people in the crowd for Donald Trump. We talk about how great free trade deals are. Those free trade deals never trickle down to those 10,000 people in Donald Trump's crowd. Bernie Sanders. Guess what?
Oh, you sound like Bernie Sanders. How dare you use actual facts? I thought we were Republicans. I thought we loved rich people. I love capital gains. I love them. They're great. I hate the inheritance tax. We're Republicans. What the hell's wrong with you, Joe? Remember, that's Chuck Todd over there saying that, right? You sound like Bernie Sanders. Like, how dare you sound like that crazy old frumpy socialist? We're supposed to be against that. We hate that guy, right? Right? No, he's actually right on this. The Republican Party has done nothing but cater to rich people, to the donor class. All while, of course, using red meat social issues like gays and abortion, guns, whatever, where they lose time and time again on to keep their base voting against their own economic interests, right? And that's exactly what's going on. And that's exactly what Scarborough is going to continue to highlight during this whole thing. Now, he's going to continue to talk about this, and I want you guys to pay attention to Nicole Wallace, what she says at the very end. Watch.
Herein lies the problem with the Republican Party. It never trickles down. Those people in Trump's crowds, those are all the ones that lost the jobs when they get moved to Mexico and elsewhere. The Republican donor class were the ones that got rich off of it because their capital moved overseas and they made higher profits. And you can say the same with national security.
Add Wall Street.
Add Wall Street.
We let the Democrats paint our side as being on the side of Wall Street. Our base doesn't benefit from the largesse of Wall Street. You know, when Occupy Wall Street went on, the Democrats very cautiously and carefully eventually embraced it. We stayed silent. Our voters don't benefit from profits on Wall Street, but we allowed Democrats to paint the Republican Party as being a puppet of Wall Street when our voters don't benefit.
Wait a minute. Whoa. She says we let Democrats paint our side as being the side of Wall Street. As if you're not? No, I'm pretty sure that you all, it's all the fucking money you guys took from Wall Street that did that. That's the reason that they say, oh, Republican Party is the party of Wall Street. It's because you fucking are. Look, it's an example of how, a good example of this is how the Republican Party fights every single regulation against Wall Street to tamp down on their greed, to actually prevent them from trying to wreck the economy again. I note, again. It's not like Wall Street doesn't have a history of crashing the entire fucking economy. They've done it at least twice. So, yeah. No, we're not the party of Wall Street. We just enable them. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Her other point. Well, we stayed silent on the whole Occupy Wall Street thing. When the Democrats were slowly starting to support it, no, they never really actually supported it at all. And that'll go to my later point, right? How the Democrats have now become just as bad as the Republicans on Wall Street. But anyway, for the Republicans, your side was the side that dumped job applications from McDonald's on the people who were in Occupy Wall Street's heads. You were not silent. You openly mocked Occupy Wall Street. Nicole Wallace should not be allowed to bullshit people like that. That's absolute bullshit. Okay. Now, as I said, look, to be fair, it's not just the Republican Party that's owned by Wall Street. Wall Street now owns, for the most part, with the exception of a few senators, the Democratic Party as well. That's now part of the Republican and Democratic establishment, which I rightly point out that Joe Scarborough is a part of. Hey, look, but for a long time before that, of course, Republican Party loved Wall Street, and Wall Street loved the Republican Party back. Fair is fair, right? Facts are facts, and these are facts. Anyway, I have one more clip for you from this whole thing, and this is sort of about conservatism. Let's listen to this.
The definition of conservatism that Marco Rubio preaches is conservatism as defined by the donor class, as defined by the wealthiest Republicans. It is not the conservatism of the rank and file that are coming out to Trump's rallies. And to act like Donald Trump has invented something new is it shows their complete ignorance. It was only a matter of time until the populists found a candidate they could rally around that didn't need donor class money. And that's the key, Nick Confessori. They didn't need donor class money. They could speak out against the trade deals that the donor class insisted on. They could speak out against, slashing tax cuts for the rich. And they didn't pay a political price. So they could go out and say, hey, what would it be like if we could deliver a populist message and not get punished by the donor class on Wall Street? Donald Trump tried it. Voila. He's doing extraordinarily well because of it. Hey, Chuck, and how interesting that the Republicans said, okay, listen, we're going to have all of these trade deals and tax cuts that benefit our wealthiest donor class, but we'll give them the social issues. We'll give them abortion. Right. We'll give them gay marriage. We'll give them guns, and they'll vote for us. What we're finding this year is they'll even support a guy who says Planned Parenthood is good if he comes with an economic approach that they feel could actually help them more in the future.
I love that. Look, can you imagine Republicans? I could never imagine Republicans supporting a guy who's okay with Planned Parenthood. I mean, come on, what the fuck, Chuck? We gave them abortion, gay marriage, and guns. What more the fuck do they want? I mean, we gave them that. They always lose on that issue, but we laugh all the way to the fucking bank. Until, that is, of course, Donald Trump. Now, an important thing to point out is that Donald Trump also is appealing to racists. So, we've also got that. And notice how Joe Scarborough doesn't mention that at fucking all. That's amazing. But, aside from that, it also turns out that people are kind of fucking pissed at the rich for taking all the wealth. It has not trickled down. It never will trickle down. And the people are finally starting to realize that. And guess what? They want it back. They want it back. What all this means is that the Republican coalition between rich people, right, and the base, as far as, the normal, regular working Joe, is falling apart. Now, for one thing, you can blame Donald Trump for a lot of terrible things. And trust me, I have. But at least on this, he actually is starting to show, ironically, in the weirdest ways possible, that the Republican establishment is not on anybody's side but their own.